As a girl who is shy and reserved, I often wonder what types of guys are interested in. Additionally, what type of girls are typically interested in you? Story 1. I have a hard time answering this question. On one hand, I am most attracted to serious, self-reliant, intelligent, and down-to-earth women. On the other hand, I sometimes think I might be better off with someone very dissimilar to myself who could help me break out of my shell and make life less boring. My concern is that I might get burned out, as I am quite introverted, and she could become bored with me for the same reason. As for the type of woman who would be interested in me, I am not sure. I have only met one who showed any interest, as far as I know. Story 2. As a shy individual, I find myself attracted to girls who are understanding and patient. I appreciate someone who does not push me to be more social than I am comfortable with, but also gently encourages me to step out of my comfort zone occasionally. Story 3. I appreciate someone who is open and clear with their emotions and affection. Emotional presence is very important to me, especially when it shows that I am doing something right in the relationship. It helps me come out of my shell more when I can be a source of their happiness and they can demonstrate that. Though, admittedly, it is hard to keep up with more adventurous individuals. Story 4. I would describe myself as quite reserved and shy. I am attracted to alternative, goth, and grunge women, and I have been for a long time. I can't explain it. That's just how I feel. However, I would not discriminate. If a lovely girl came into my life who was the polar opposite of that but was a great person, I would gladly date her. Story 5. I like bubbly, outgoing, and funny women. It seems that women don't like me, as I never hear that they do. Story 6. She is friendly, listens, talks to me about things she likes, is compatible with me, and is not abusive. Story 7. Being humble goes a long way, both in personality and dressing style. Social skills are not a major concern. Both extroverts and introverts can thrive as long as important aspects align, such as sense of humor, worldview, life goals, and healthy relationships. Open communication is crucial. We cannot solve a problem unless we understand what it is, and playing detective becomes tedious over time. Story 8. Mutual attraction is a good way to start. I am looking for someone who does not perceive my shyness or reserved nature as a weakness and who genuinely wants to understand me. I want to connect with someone who inspires me to show love freely, rather than making it feel like an obligation. Story 9. My pattern is my exact opposite. Loud, exciting, chaotic. The drama triggers old habits. The type I would like is the similarly shy, introverted, reserved individuals who become progressively sillier as they become more comfortable. Story 10. Oh wow. I am truly captivated by a bright woman. I love discovering the things that excite her, whether it be a hobby like crochet or a subject like astrophysics. I'm a bit of a novelist, so I always have wild stories running through my mind. If I can share those with her, I am in heaven. Hey, have you ever thought about what it would be like if a minotaur were based on a Highland cow? Right? They would be short and long-haired, sort of like 90s emo creatures. Story 11. I always wonder what types they are into. For me, it would be that type. I don't think I would be compatible with an extrovert at all. What type of girls are typically interested in you? None, it seems. Story 12. I enjoy spending time with girls who make an effort to smile brightly when we are having fun together. Story 13. Girls who are confident in their preferences and are not afraid to share them. Girls who are genuine and do not project their insecurities onto others. Girls who can match my level of interest while respecting boundaries. I appreciate girls who trust me, as I am a very trusting person, almost to a fault, and enjoy going out to explore new activities. Someone who is emotionally mature and has moved past entitlement, partner shaming, and supports me just as much as I support them. Essentially, a genuinely decent human being. Story 14. As an older introvert, I cannot stand a drama queen. I got tired of being used and abused for dates or good times, or being used as a therapist for friends or couples. I will not jeopardize my peace or personal growth. Story 15. I prefer shy, introverted, and reserved girls. However, I am not approached by anyone. I often feel like I am forever alone. Story 16. I don't necessarily go for girls who are shy or introverted. I actually feel like she needs to be more willing to speak up than I am. I appreciate someone who also doesn't feel the need to fill silence with conversation for the sake of it. I prefer an ambivert. I like intelligent girls, someone who can challenge my thoughts, and I enjoy a goofy type, not quirky. Story 17. I'm not shy, but introverted, and I would like someone who understands my introverted nature and gives me personal space when I need it to recharge. Throughout my life, I have felt alienated for the way I am among extroverts. Someone who understands this is going to be the most important thing for me. Second, I value openness and the ability to look at things from different perspectives. Third, I appreciate a strong work ethic. Fourth, I desire love and affection. Fifth, physical attraction is important to me, especially at the beginning. Sixth, I seek someone who is confident and self-aware. Seventh, I prefer someone who is not addicted to anything, including attention-seeking behavior. I have her, by the way. Story 18. My ex was like my clone. She liked all the same things I did. We could watch Star Trek or go to the movies together. My fondest memories are of us sitting on my bed playing board games. What type of girls are typically interested in you? None typically. Story 19. I love physically fit women and fellow introverts when it comes to personality. I wouldn't limit myself to just those two types, as it's simply an ideal. As for what women are interested in me, I couldn't tell you. My first job doesn't include any. It's inappropriate to have a relationship with someone in my second job, and I have only recently started attending anime meetings in my area. Therefore, I don't know the women there well enough, or anyone for that matter. I am a tradesman, and the only women my contractor employs are in the office, at least to my knowledge. I work on weekends, and it's generally not a good idea to date within your unit. It's possible, but there are many more considerations. Story 20. Nerdy. Cute girls who share my interests. Though often they already have a boyfriend or husband, so I embrace single life. Story 21. I like women who vibe with me. I am 39 and have experienced my share of nightlife in clubs and bars. That's not something I want to do unless friends drag me out. I am a United States Marine Corps combat veteran, so there are activities I no longer enjoy, such as concerts or raves. There are often too many people, and it can be too loud, making it hard to relate to younger crowds. Clubs and bars are similarly loud and crowded. I used to work on aircraft, and my ears can't handle excessive noise anymore. It's difficult for me to communicate when there's too much going on. I will still go out, but I am unlikely to stay longer than 2 hours. I spend my time on custom projects and playing with my dogs. I enjoy being comfortable and I like campfires. I watch movies and often play on my custom-built PC. I try to maintain a peaceful lifestyle. However, with the right person, I would be open to exploring new activities. There's just not much I prefer to do alone. Story 22. Down to earth, humble, and kind individuals are not obsessed with their image on social media. They are calm-minded and prefer to talk things out instead of getting worked up and arguing. Story 23. I tell myself that I'm into shy, introverted, and reserved women, but I keep dating more extroverted and bubbly women, so I guess that's who I'm actually into. They also tend to be the ones who are interested in me. That being said, I have no issues dating someone who is as quiet and reserved as I am. It just has not happened yet. Story 24. I am introverted and reserved for the most part. I like extroverted, outgoing women. My wife was very much like this, and it's definitely my type. Creates a good counterbalance. Story 25. Girls who are passionate about their hobbies will invite us to join them in activities. There is no specific type of girl who is interested in me. My experiences range from party girls to book lovers. Story 26. A rebel in the streets and enjoyable in intimate moments. Also smart, interested in art, books, cool music, some gaming, classic movies, plays bar games and backyard games well, crafty, and has a mystical touch. Story 27. Empathy and accountability. Despite her appearance, I would rather stay on my own than have a girlfriend who never admits her mistakes. Story 28. Yander-type girls are aggressive and somewhat unpredictable. They will claim me as theirs in an assertive manner. One day, they might just approach me and say, "By the way, whether you agree or not, we are dating. Meet me at this bar. Thank you." Story 29. I'm into girls who enjoy spending time together, have a great sense of humor, and share similar tastes and values. As for the type of girls who are interested in me, it's anyone who finds me attractive, which is quite a number of people. Who knew that people like the looks of a cute Japanese guy? Story 30. Someone who genuinely accepts us and cares about us as we are. Someone we can relax and be ourselves with. Story 31. One who will always advocate for me, focuses me on productive goals, watching me achieve them as I see fit, does not entertain others with my embarrassing moments, shares her true self rather than being my mirror. In return, the excitement in me craves the opportunity to confront her adversaries while appreciating their lamentations. I just want to share quiet moments, watch movies, and grow old together without either of us noticing that 50 years have passed. Story 32. I would prefer to date these types of girls rather than the extroverted ones. While I am open to extroverts, there will be many situations where I want to stay home. In this regard, having someone with a similar temperament is wonderful because we are both happy at home. Story 33. I personally prefer introverted girls. I have had negative experiences in the past with a girl who was a bit too extroverted for my liking. Story 34. Paint in a simplistic style that encourages, rather than threatens. Use a brush to create a dull effect, or experiment with a toothbrush technique for texture. Story 35. I appreciate girls who can stimulate me intellectually and engage deeply in various subjects. I enjoy philosophical conversations with someone who has good manners and is pleasant to be around, making me and others feel at peace and cared for. A good sense of humor, especially the darker kind, is important. She should be able to stand up for herself if someone is disrespectful. Additionally, she should connect well with both older and younger people. Valuing harmony at home, she avoids drama. Story 36. When I was first dating my now wife, she started a debate with me by saying that Captain Kirk was a better captain than Captain Picard. Later, she admitted she didn't believe that, but just really wanted to get me talking. Well played. Story 37. There is a girl I work with. We are both in separate relationships, and I am not really attracted to her in that way, but she has become a supervisor and recently has been struggling with the power dynamics. She used to joke around with coworkers, but now has to tell them to get back to work. I enjoy catching up with her from time to time, and lately she has been open about how it makes her feel. I do not know why, but her honesty and watching her try her best is very attractive. I know she is strong and will make a great boss one day. She has a great attitude. Story 38. They do not have to be introverted, but they should at least understand that I am somewhat introverted and that I am not trying to be rude or seem uninterested in things. Story 39. Generally, I prefer girls who like to stay home and relax. I'm not a big fan of going out, but I will always be down to stay in and watch a movie or cuddle. If they're okay with life being slow at times, then I'm more than okay with spending time with them. Life in the fast lane is fun for a little while, but it's nice to slow down afterwards. Story 40. I don't dislike being around people, but I'm very self-conscious about initiating contact with others. Personally, I prefer a partner who is more of an extrovert. Otherwise, I may struggle to meet new people and make friends. Story 41. Shy introvert. I finally found someone who loves being a hermit as much as I do. I have tried dating more extroverted people before, and it gets exhausting. I just want someone who is okay with silence. Story 42. Someone with introverted hobbies such as reading books, playing video games, biking, relaxing in general, and studying. Story 43. Honestly, I don't know if it's because I've never dated or if I just have few requirements to make me happy. As long as they have a cute face, proper hygiene, and good manners, I will learn to love any trait someone has if they reciprocate the feeling. Story 44. Girls who make it easy for me. It is so frustrating to be shy while women still expect, even demand, that I do all the work. How is that fair? Let's both just trip into each other's arms. Please. Story 45. A proper woman is someone pleasant to be around and able to engage in conversation without excessive arguments. She should not be overly dependent on social media and should maintain a healthy lifestyle, embodying the qualities of a normal person. Story 46. I appreciate girls who are both quiet and talkative. I like quiet and shy girls because they understand my introverted nature, making it nice to have someone who gets me. I also like talkative girls because it allows me to listen rather than speak. I have a crush on a girl at work who is very talkative, which I appreciate since I often worry about annoying her when I pop into her office. Whenever I feel like she might not want me there, she continues to talk, which eases my concern about taking up her time. Regardless, I prefer a girl who is respectful, attentive, and allows me to be open and vulnerable. It is important to me that she takes my feelings and opinions into consideration. I admire girls who are considerate, polite, have a sense of humor, and show that I am wanted, appreciated, and cared for. The girl I have a crush on encompasses all of these qualities. Despite her talkativeness, she provides me with the space to express what I am feeling and thinking. There are moments when I am contemplating my next words, and she patiently waits for me to finish before responding. She doesn't interrupt while I am gathering my thoughts. She also creates a safe environment for me to share deep personal feelings and experiences. Her ability to make me feel emotionally safe is something I truly appreciate and value. Story 47. The types I prefer when it comes to personality are mainly ambivert girls, although I also like shy ones. As for the type of girls who are attracted to me, I would say they are non-existent. Story 48. An autistic man who is attracted to outgoing athletic women to counterbalance his own shortcomings. Story 49. Normally, crazy seems to be interested in me. I'm still trying to figure that one out. I'm pretty sure it's my fault. Story 50. I like shy, introverted, and reserved girls because we can relate more and prioritize staying away from people. Why do you like shy, introverted, and reserved guys? I thought girls preferred eager, extroverted, and open guys because they would provide support in social situations, doing the talking with strangers instead of her. This is a general question for any girl, not necessarily the original poster. Story 51. Girls who are genuine and do not pretend based on situations, express a polite demeanor, are jovial, and are interesting to have deep and meaningful conversations with. They are playful when the moment is appropriate and express their emotions openly without being dramatic. These women are intelligent and independent. While these traits may seem like high standards, I personally know such attractive women exist. Story 52. I am not shy, but pretty chill and laid back. I am attracted to outgoing, confident, extroverted girls, but not the obnoxious loud type. Story 53. I'm not sure. Perhaps similar morals and interests are necessary. Not all must be the same, so there could be some differences. Basically, I value kindness, compassion, humor, and respect. Family is important. They may be into sports, but that is not essential. I hardly have anyone interested in me anymore. When I did, they shared those qualities, but often liked the wrong sport or team. Story 54. Talkative girls help me come out of my shell. I have never made progress with others who are also shy. Story 55. Warm, outgoing, in touch with her feelings and kind. She is not affected by social expectations. Additionally, we all have a type. Story 56. I got catfished. I thought my wife was that sort of woman, shy and introverted, but it turns out she was just shy of me. We are the complete opposite. I used to like shy and introverted women, but now I absolutely love having someone who is my opposite to even things out. Story 57. What type of women do you like? Intelligent, thoughtful, kind-hearted, not too loud or pushy, etc. Story 58. I also like shy, introverted, and reserved women. I have no means of meeting them, and it's frustrating. They don't make me feel desired or that I should approach them. What type of women are interested in me? the ones I don't connect with, the ones I don't share common interests with, the ones whose lives are a mess, and I want no part in trying to fix. It's lonely. Story 59. The ones who acknowledge my existence and give me their time or attention to get to know me on a personal level. Story 60. One who is willing to take some initiative from time to time. It is challenging for me to set aside my introversion, so please do not make me do all the work all the time. Story 61. Someone who makes the first move is always a plus. Alternatively, if you won't make the first move, at least take actions that show you're interested. Not quick 5-second gestures, but rather making an effort to show up repeatedly wherever you first met. This is more likely to be a social location, not a grocery store. Show up, chat with the shy introvert, and there's a chance they'll ask you out after a few weeks of thinking, okay, this wasn't a fluke. They're showing up for me. Additionally, it's important to be someone who can hold their own in a conversation. While you may enjoy a cozy night in, being comfortable enough to go out occasionally is crucial. Think about grabbing food, playing trivia for a date, or just getting outside for some sun at the beach or spending time with friends. Not every day, of course, but not just once a month either. Story 62. A girl bold enough to ask me out is exactly what I crave. The display of attention and care towards me is amazing. I don't mind if it's because you are very outgoing or shy. I just want to feel cared for. Story 63. Dropping my thoughts here. The answer is simple for me. It's just someone who fits with me like a puzzle piece. Never change for someone else, but if you want to change for yourself, that's a positive thing. Story 64. Girls who try to understand me without attempting to change me, who appreciate the vulnerability I share and do not use it against me in various ways, and a woman who can bring me peace at the end of the day. Story 65. Someone who understands my flaws and doesn't make fun of me for them, but also shares similar nerdy hobbies. Story 66. Mostly anyone who takes a liking to me. Traits I find attractive include ambition, someone who has dreams and is working to achieve them. Intelligence, someone who makes me feel like I've learned something new after spending time with her. And a sense of self-improvement, someone who is striving to be the best she can be. Story 67. I appreciate women who respect my need for introversion time. Story 68. Basically, a girl like me doesn't have to fake a new personality or have a hard time keeping the relationship alive. However, the girls who are disinterested in me are usually the ones I encounter in real life. I try hard, but they often act and talk as if they are babysitting me. Story 69. I desperately need someone who will encourage me to be more active, to go out and engage in activities, instead of just sitting at home. I also need someone who enjoys talking a lot, as it tends to work better for me. It's not that I can't hold a conversation. I just find it challenging to engage when the topic isn't something I'm interested in at that moment. Story 70. Initially, I was attracted to someone with a polar opposite personality, thinking we would balance each other out. It seems others have had similar experiences. I used to get annoyed that she lacked a sense of calm, while she was frustrated by my more reserved demeanor. Now, I seek people who are either somewhere in the middle or closer to my chill, reserved nature. Alternatively, I appreciate the rare extrovert who values the calming presence I can provide. However, even in that case, it has only happened once, and that person struggled with mental health issues, so experiences may vary. Story 71. Anyone, because it is becoming increasingly improbable for me to find a partner with even a hint of preference at this point. Story 72. First, they should be genuine, down-to-earth women. I am not sure if every guy feels the same way. We do not have the energy to go out every night or hang out with a group of friends. So please do not expect that from us. Going out once or maybe twice a week is fine, but we prefer not to go to overcrowded places like clubs and bars. We enjoy quiet, open spaces in case we need to avoid social interactions. Comfort is a priority for us, so we might sometimes prioritize it over events or gatherings. We do not want to create insecurities, and we expect the same in return. All we need is love, respect, and someone we can trust. Once trust is broken, it is hard to regain, so do not expect us to trust you again after that. There is no specific type, Just a few do's and don'ts to maintain our peace. Story 73. I am attracted to introverted women, and they are attracted to me. But since we are both shy and introverted, nothing ever happens. Jokes aside, if I can learn to show affection, things might work out well. Story 74. I am an introverted woman, and my husband is an extrovert. It is extremely difficult for me to cope with him. Story 75. A girl who can lift my spirits when I really need it. I tend to be reserved and introverted in private, so I may not count, but that's my type. Someone who is always willing to keep my spirits up. Story 76. I prefer shy, nerdy girls, but it's unfortunate that we both aren't likely to approach each other in public. It would be nice to sit down together with someone, drink some coffee, and enjoy the comfort of their presence in silence before we are both awake enough to play a game together or watch a show. Story 77. I like a shy and introverted woman who becomes talkative when she's comfortable. I want us to be home buddies together, but I also appreciate a chatterbox to balance my own quiet nature. Story 78. I found a partner who isn't focused on dominating every aspect of the relationship, and we have been together for over 10 years. In the past, when girls approached me, it was often either a younger person whose parents still paid for everything or individuals who took astrology too seriously. Story 79. Without giving it much thought, as long as we get along and you are easygoing and not judgmental, then you are good in my book. As long as you don't comment on my quiet or reserved nature and wish I were different behaviorally, we're off to a good start. We can test the waters from there and see if we are a good fit. It would be great if you enjoy reading books and can discuss various topics, regardless of whether they interest you or not. Story 80. Someone who understands that we are both human and have good and bad qualities. Someone who knows when to step back and when to participate and contribute. Someone who can acknowledge their mistakes and offer a listening ear and an open mind when others admit their own errors. Someone who does not rush to judgment and evaluates situations thoughtfully. So, essentially, a lesbian. So, I am out of luck because I am straight. Story 81. It could be anyone who is kind to me, preferably someone who doesn't need to go out often. The only girl to ever show interest in me was a workaholic from cram school. But nothing ever happened because we were both too socially awkward to stay in touch. Story 82. I love either the shy introvert, like me, or someone bubbly and outgoing to compliment me. I have found happiness with both. Story 83. I like confident women who speak their minds, are very straightforward, and never sugarcoat. I also really enjoy it when they are funny and share the same hobbies as me so we can discuss those interests. Looks-wise, I love women who are shorter than me, have dark curly hair, and big round eyes with long lashes. I prefer on girls clothing that looks comfortable and isn't too tight or complicated. I don't really like jewelry on a girl. The girls I attract are often very attractive and sometimes exactly my type. However, their personalities don't usually match. I don't know why, but I often attract disloyal girls who are already in relationships, as well as many who are insecure. Story 84. Being an introvert and being shy are not the same thing. Being an introvert does not make you shy. Story 85. I'm introverted and reserved, but definitely not shy. I like slightly aggressive and dominant women. I'm not submissive, though. I think the women I've dated have tended to be pretty insecure and not very confident, so I want the opposite of that. Story 86. Everyone has their own type when it comes to looks. Mine is generally short and skinny, with brown hair and brown eyes, including a touch of Middle Eastern features. As for character, I tend to keep to myself and care about the feelings of those around me. I am an empath and not loud or attention-seeking, which makes me more down-to-earth and genuine. Most importantly, as we get to know each other better and become more comfortable, I like to act the opposite. I personally enjoy playfully teasing each other by acting toxic or bossy, and I really appreciate it when they have the confidence to do it back. For example, if I'm uncertain about doing something, I like being playfully bossed around to do it. Story 87. In my mind, I envision bookish and reserved individuals who spend their days reading. In reality, I tend to attract extroverted girls who enjoy talking a lot. Story 88. My girlfriend is bubbly, talkative and sociable, easily able to strike up conversations. I really enjoy listening to her because I can tell she gets excited to talk about various topics. She is capable and self-sufficient, but she is not afraid to ask for help with things she doesn't know about, especially if it's something I excel at. She likes to listen to me when I share my knowledge. She is a total sweetheart. Story 89. I always wonder what types they are into. The type who will never be at a bar or club and shares enough of my interests so we can hold a conversation. I'm not shy. I simply dislike parties. What type of girls are typically interested in you? I have no idea. I can't find them anywhere, and no one wants to say where they are so I can go meet them. Story 90. Anyone who will accept me at this point, since women seem to dislike shy and awkward men unless we look really good. Story 91. This could be a long list, but I will focus on the most interesting ones. My type is a low-profile woman on all social media platforms who doesn't like to gossip, is low-key playful, and has a sense of humor. She can also blend in with different types of people. Women who usually show interest in me are low-key playful, talkative, intelligent, and a bit teasing. Story 92. I will impress people for a gothic woman. I like passionate women, passionate about a hobby, passionate about life, and passionate about me. I find it attractive. Story 93. Active and eager to engage in various activities such as kayaking, traveling, hiking, and cooking, rather than just sitting at home every day. Fashionable with a diverse range of styles to showcase, including pinup, rocker, golfer, and date night looks. Story 94. I'm not completely introverted, so I prefer someone who is either just as introverted as I am or slightly more extroverted than I am because I do like going out sometimes. Story 95. Question 1. Introverted individuals with a passion. Question 2. So far, this type, or at least the two I noticed, were this type. Story 96. I am an introverted extrovert, but I lean more towards being an introvert. I am looking for someone just like me. Someone who can fully engage with me but also needs time to socially recharge, either together or separately. That's why my dream home has 4 bedrooms. Our room, my personal room, their personal room, and a guest room. Story 97. A girl who is very forward. I attended a work event 2 days ago, and afterwards, a lady I had never met followed me on Instagram and liked a few of my posts. The next day, she reached out to say she works for the partner group that was there and got my name from my friend who works there. Now we are chatting, and I realized that this was probably the perfect way to get my attention. I appreciate a lady who is into nature, patient, smart, sweet, funny, and active. Story 98. My wife was a huge introvert, so she loved to stay in, maybe grab some food if we didn't feel like cooking, and watch TV or YouTube together. I was the exact same way. We would show each other our favorite shows and play video games together. We spent all our time on the couch or enjoyed a lazy weekend in bed. During the pandemic, she worked from home while I didn't work, so we spent every moment together, and it still wasn't enough. We spent 3 straight years together, almost every minute of every day. We loved every second of it. There's nothing better than spending time with the love of your life. We enjoyed being around each other, even if we weren't doing the same thing or interacting. It was comforting just to be in the same room together. I miss that. Story 99. I'm not really sure if I am completely an introvert, more like a textrovert, but I am certainly shy and reserved and also bisexual. What I personally look for in a girl is the potential for intimacy and understanding. This requires some levels of similarity but does not mean I only look for reserved and shy girls. There have been times when I found a total extrovert girl to be quite interesting. Story 100. I don't have a specific type. The main aspect I look for in a woman is that I prefer she is not overly difficult to deal with. I've dated outgoing women as well as more introverted ones, but nothing has truly clicked yet, mainly due to past negative experiences affecting my view of dating. Story 101. Just someone who understands. I have dated amazing introverts, and I liked that I could be silent without being questioned. I have also dated amazing extroverts, and I love how they can carry conversations, allowing me to speak my mind more and come out of my shell. Personally, I don't have a specific type as long as our personalities don't clash negatively. Story 102. I would probably really like a shy and introverted woman, but I will never know because neither of us is going to approach the other. All the women I have been with approached me first. Story 103. As a highly introverted person, I appreciate a girl who is down to earth, not very loud or social, and easygoing. I like someone who enjoys staying at home. It's unfortunate because I'll probably never meet someone like that since I tend to stay home a lot. Story 104. The exact same thing, shy, introverted, reserved individuals. Feels very natural, and we already have one thing in common. Story 105. I like girls who are a little outgoing and encourage us to go out and do activities. I need a little push or I would just stay inside all day. What type of girls are typically interested in you? None. Story 106. I usually prefer being outgoing but not excessively so. I don't want to plan every weekend or live a party lifestyle anymore. It's too much work and energy. However, I do need someone to encourage me to leave the house, or else I fall into a routine of home, work, and weekly events, rarely doing anything exciting. If both of us want to stay home and do nothing, we'll never actually go out and experience anything. Story 107. The kind that doesn't ask me why I'm so quiet and insists that I act fun or talk more at gatherings, but also listens to me when I have something to say. Story 108. Someone who is similar, but we don't meet because we are both comfortable at home, daydreaming and engaging in individual hobbies. Story 109. A girl who takes the initiative, likes control, but at the same time has not forgotten how to be a woman. Basically, someone to complete me. If she is the I'm going out to party type, then she's not the one for me. I just want a genuine person without the shallow needs that society craves more than sugar. Story 110. I'm also interested in shy, introverted, and reserved women, but everyone I meet prefers a high-energy guy, and I feel overlooked. Story 111. I am all those things, but when it comes to women, I want someone submissive with whom I can express my dominant side. Story 112. I married a kind and outgoing person. She encourages me to be more social while respecting my need for personal space. It works well. Story 113. I wouldn't say I'm a shy introvert. I'm more of a quiet person. Being with a more extroverted partner balances me out and brings out my extroverted side. It's also good when I let her talk, as it avoids awkward silences. The same is true for friends. If they are introverted, that's fine too. Story 114. I actually like women who are more outspoken, adventurous, friendly, and empathetic than I am. Someone has to correct the waiter when my order gets messed up, and it is not going to be me. Story 115. I think being introverted is fine, honestly. However, if someone is introverted to the point that they can't be social or have no social skills, then it won't work. If I have to talk for you because you can't, issues will arise. That being said, I like it when girls are introverted. It usually means that hanging out together doing simple, fun activities is enjoyable. However, I seem to attract only people who I do not find attractive. If I am not attracted to them, then I won't pursue them, regardless of whether they are introverted or extroverted. Story 116. I like relaxed, calm, and cute girls who enjoy doing things quietly together and spending meaningful moments. I am not attracted to those who constantly need to be in crowds or at the center of attention. Story 117. My ideal partner is someone who is introverted like me, but is not afraid to express her passion for her hobbies and interests. She is someone who feels comfortable with me and enjoys snuggling together. Story 118. Definitely introverted girls. I am a homebody and want someone who would prefer to stay in with me rather than go out partying. Story 119. I dislike dating loud extroverts. I prefer someone who is a little shyer because I appreciate that quality. Story 120. I generally like outgoing, louder people. It's a nice little circle. I listen to them talk, provide my input, and they fill the space with conversation. Story 121. I once dated a girl for 2 months before I realized I wasn't physically attracted to her. I enjoyed talking with her and she asked me out, I felt flattered that someone was interested enough to ask me out, which temporarily overshadowed everything else. Essentially, we appreciate women who don't engage in subtle games of uncertainty. Summon up your courage and be bold. Story 122. Extroverted, enthusiastic girls, although it doesn't matter because in the end, it is expected for men to make the first move. Story 123. In a general sense, someone who is emotionally open, available, and straightforward about what they want. Someone who is understanding and respects my boundaries and my need for alone time. Being an introvert or extrovert isn't very important to me, but it would be nice for her to be more outgoing and bubbly to balance my reserved nature. Story 124. I want a girl who is outgoing enough to take me on adventures and spend days out, but who can also enjoy cozying up with me and relaxing at home for a day or two. Story 125. Any woman who is interested in me, I am not interested in her. That has been my experience so far. My type is a gamer. I do not need to talk all the time, but we can spend time together. I am attracted to those who are goth, ambitious, loyal, honest, and kind. Story 126. Just someone who brings a smile to my face, whether similar or opposite. Someone who respects my alone time yet makes me willing to push myself out of my comfort zone just to be with her. She isn't superficial like a large proportion of women. Story 127. A girl who provides verbal feedback and excitement. I don't ask for much. I don't sleep around. Story 128. I like a quirky homebody kind of girl because I dislike socializing just to go out. I tend to prefer someone with more self-confidence, as I have very little, but I would love to date a shy and quiet girl someday. I feel like we could really connect. Story 129. Girls who make me feel confident and comfortable when talking to them usually depend on whether we have enough in common regarding interests, personality, or communication style. It also helps significantly if the girl is making an effort to engage, even if we have different personalities. Story 130. You keep hiding your shy selves while we are out there looking for good men and only finding emotionally immature men who are self-absorbed. We really just want to spend quality time with someone genuine and secure in who they are. You need to put yourselves out there, even if it means stepping out of your comfort zones. I hope you all find a good woman who will balance you out, providing deep love and strong communication with one another. Story 131. Extroverted girls, honestly. If I dated girls similar to me, it would be incredibly awkward for both of us. I want to be with a girl who loves to go out and would take me to new places that I never would have thought of going to myself. Story 132. Tall and short girls who enjoy kissing and cuddling, hug me tight, and you will find a man who will treat you like a queen forever. Promise. Story 133. Introversion is very different from being shy or reserved. I am very introverted but never shy or reserved. I appreciate people who understand the meaning of the words they use. Story 134. I prefer quiet, reserved types of women. I find loud and obnoxious individuals difficult to tolerate. I also appreciate autistic women because I relate to them more than neurotypical women. Story 135. I only dated in Japan. I prefer introverted individuals who are oriented towards music, photography, and gaming, usually aged 22 to 25. Story 136. I always wonder what types of girls they are into. A slightly extroverted girl would be ideal. Someone who enjoys talking and doing activities more than I do, but is also comfortable with some downtime in between. As for the type of girls typically interested in me, none, since I rarely go to places where something could happen. Story 137. Confidence and similar interests are also a big plus. I am 27 and have never been on a date, so I do not know if there is a happy answer to the second question. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.